Join us as we adventure through Alaska's interior, campfires, rivers, and rugged landscape. Each stop is a part of our story. Stay with us and experience the adventure. We appreciate you joining us. Welcome back. This video is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to really feature the outdoors. We're going to try to get out and ride the mini bikes. We brought them, and we brought some fishing rods just in case we do go out, which we probably will. But this video is going to mainly focus us kind of working on an old Jeep truck that me and my buddy picked up at the end of last year. So I thought that'd be cool. I had to make a little bit of time, and I figured, what the heck, I might as well turn it into a YouTube video. So here we go. We're gonna be there in approximately 20 minutes or so. We got our dog Sammy with us, and yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, we're gonna stop in over here at the Pleasant Valley store and pick up a couple of drinks and then head over to his house. All right, well, the first thing we're gonna start with tonight is getting the grill put together so we can cook our food, and then we'll mess around with the Jeep truck. All right, well, we got the charcoal in. This is my buddy Nathan, and we're gonna get the grill going, and then we'll be working on the truck. All right, well, we got the topper off. We took it off because it's already halfway crushed in, and you know, it's in need of some repair, so we're probably just gonna get rid of it. But other than that, the truck actually looks really good without the topper on it. Nathan found a beehive here, but it's inactive. Nothing going on in there. Probably for like hornets or something. I don't know. Don't really want to find out. And hopefully nothing makes it its home. All right, well, we got the briquettes going nicely, and the steak's all seasoned up, so we're gonna get that thrown on. All right, we got the steak on, and the lady's here to help us scrub the truck down. Alright, and the steak's looking ready to flip. Alright, these are going to be my utensils here to flip the steaks. Oh yeah, they're a little overcooked on that side. That side, that one's not. This is probably just a hot section on the grill. Yeah, I think it might have been. Right here in the center. Yep. Oh no, it flipped and broke in half. Well, thanks to all the help, we're getting this thing done quick. It's already looking 10 times better. Alright, we're gonna give these two a flip. Oh yeah. Let's check these ones. Those ones cook just a little bit longer. They'll be perfect. Alright, well, we're not completely done with the exterior of the vehicle, except the engine is a whole nother thing to itself. It had probably a school family living in here, so we got to clean up a bunch of wiring. Speaking of which, when we bought this thing, actually, it didn't even run. All the wires were cut. We had to replace the distributor wires. We did a whole tune-up on it. We did plugs, wires, and a distributor, and then timed it, and then it ran like a champ. It's probably got a little bit of a fuel issue. It probably needs like a fuel pump, but once it starts, it runs and has no problem running. Runs really good, actually, for being a 79. So my buddy Nathan here picked up this Bravo. It's a 2008 in like mint condition, and supposedly it fires up on like the first pull. You want to demonstrate?
Try it.
Nice. What was that? 10 pulls later? Hey, it started up though, and it sounds great. All right, we got all the steak, and we're gonna head inside to eat. Alright, well, we're getting the plates dined out and getting the kids' plate made. So I'm in halves with my buddy on this car, the Suburban, the Geo, probably something else back there. And this is the newest addition to our family. He called me up, he said, hey, there's a Tahoe for sale. Should we get it? And I was like, yeah, why not? So now we are going to fix this. I think we're going to throw a transmission in it and it'll be good to go. Clean ride right here. Fire right up. Yeah, 2 years ago, me and Nathan, we cleared this entire area, and now it's just coming back up. We're gonna have to go back through here and just cut it all again.
Somebody neglected it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say who.
Yeah, I don't know who. There's actually, you know, speaking of which, if you were to go back this way, there's a cabin, and that's where we're staying tonight. All right, well, props to Kia, because a couple years ago we were trying to kill the engine because it was already had a rod knock, and so we threw some bolts and nuts down the oil port, and it stopped running, and then we cranked it and it just fired up again, and it just continued to run, and it still runs, and it'll start right up. Matter of fact, this was parked in that shed, and he towed it out with this Kia that's got a motor with a rod knock and bolts and nuts in it. So that's pretty cool. All right, well, we're gonna clean up our mess, and we'll pick up where we left off tomorrow afternoon, and we're just gonna clean the engine bay interior and finish up the exterior. But the exterior is looking pretty good. I think we got the bed still's got a bit of cleaning to do. Windows. Oh, the door's locked. I'll have to get the key, but looks pretty good in there. All right, me and my dog, we're gonna get a little bit of firewood and bring it back to the cabin. All right, I'll just bring a couple of actual pieces, and I'll come back and get some of this slat wood. Yeah, from a couple years ago when I was giving Nathan a hand cutting all these trees down, we got just stacks of wood everywhere and all this brush now. But if you keep walking for a ways, you get to a little cabin in the woods, which is pretty cool. This will be our home for the night. Buddy's wife's uncle came over here and gave him some utensils, and we're gonna use them for cooking breakfast in the morning. All right, we're gonna work on running an extension cord. That way we got power here tonight. All right, we are moving on to our third extension cord. Dang dogs. All right, well, we got the last extension cord plugged in, and now we'll verify that the lights work. All right, well, it's getting a little late, and so we're just gonna go for a little ride. Oh, I guess it would help if the kill switch was on. The no suspension on these things are a little rough, but they get the job done. Always gotta mess with something. Alright, well, I got a cool little upgrade to mine. I got some lock wire, and his has got a spring. Let's see who's faster. Alright, no kicking off. Alright, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Yeah, buddy! Man, my chain came off. Well, from earlier today to now, this thing looks so much better. Me and Nathan, his wife, and my girlfriend, we did some work. We did a lot of cleaning on the exterior and on the windows, and it does look pretty good. There's a lot to go, but it's starting to look like an actual cool Jeep truck. Pretty much a brand new seat in here. Inside's gonna need some cleaning, but there's no major tears. It's pretty nice. The radio actually works, which is pretty cool. All right, well, we got all of our gear and figured we'd grab the cooler and bring it as well, just because it's got our breakfast and lunch and everything in there, and we'll probably be eating at the cabin tomorrow. So I'll get back with you guys as soon as I get to the cabin. Supposedly there has been a grizzly bear just hanging out around here in Pleasant Valley, so there's a chance we might see a bear tonight, but for some reason I'm feeling like we're not going to see anything. Man, these bugs, they eat you right through your clothes. Bite you right through the clothes, man. Alright, I got the propane bottle and the attachment. Now we can get the fire going. Alright, I'm gonna gather up a couple of these more rotten sticks and bring them in to burn them. Just a couple of the bigger ones. Oh, bringing in that wood brought in a bunch of this crap, so we'll have to get that cleaned up before we go. Man, these torches here just make life so easy when you want to start a fire. But anyways, we're going to get ready to relax and watch some Interstellar.
Shutting it down, Cooper.
Alright, it's 22:34, so we're just gonna leave this on and get ready for bed. Alright, well, it's about 8 o'clock and we're gonna get the fire going so we can make some breakfast on top of it. Alright, now we'll let the stove get nice and warm and we'll be able to cook on the top. Alright, well, we got some leftover steak that I'm gonna get nice and warm. Alright, got the dog fed, we got the coffee. I got the thermostat going because we got the door open so the dog can go in and out. Watching a little bit of YouTube while this is getting nice and warm.
Oh my god.
Alright, well, I got an upgrade in the screen, eating my muffin, and snacking on some steak.
2025 in Denver, Colorado. Thousands have spent the day marching.
Man, those people are crazy. Go on, know what I would do. Anyways, second muffin, almost done with the meat, and then we'll get to some activities. All that wood that I picked up outside made such a mess, so now I'm gonna try to get it all picked up. Nala. Alright, got the gear packed up and we're gonna head back to the truck. Alright, well, our plan is to go get gas and then we're gonna see if we can't make it to the river on these things. I think his chain might have popped off. Let's take a look. Well, I was gonna put the chain back on, except the master link came off. And yeah, that's gonna be difficult to put back on if you don't got that. Hey, well, we couldn't find the key for the chain, so we're gonna have to walk the bike back to the house. Well, I think what happened to his mini bike was he was going over these bumps super fast, and the chain must have came off, and the chain kind of binded up and just perfectly hit the master key and unlocked it, and then the key and the little clip fell off and we weren't able to find it. Figured we'd stop and give the dog some water since she's running. But cool little fun fact about these little Coleman 100cc's is on this single tank of fuel, which isn't very much, I think it's like 0.25 or maybe a little more than 0.25, but they'll take you about 35 miles. It's insane. In the wintertime, we'll be able to take the sleds and cross over the river here and just keep riding forever. And it's pretty cool because in the wintertime, none of this is usually ridden. There might be like one single track, so it's just full of powder, and it's amazing to ride on. Very, very lucky. I can't believe I caught this, but I looked down because my chain popped off and I was gonna put it back on, and I realized that the key was missing, and I found it. That's probably exactly what happened to Anthony's. Alright, well, it was already a little bent, so I had to use a rock and a log, and I bent the clip back and I was able to squeeze it on with my fingers. But we're gonna have to take it really slow and get back to the house. Alright, lucky fix number 2. Got the clip back on, found the clip, and had to rebend it again. Alright, well, it's not really the best of look for these Coleman mini bikes here. They are fun, except I kind of knew I was taking a risk bringing it out this weekend because I had let somebody borrow it, and they gave it back to me and said that it had chain issues, and then I was like, oh, I'll just tighten the chain. And now if it has chain issues, after this little knob gets maxed out, you probably just want to, you know, take a link out or do something. But my mistake, I should have fixed it properly before taking it back out, knowing that there was an issue from the previous person. The only one that hasn't had an issue yet is the only one that hasn't been loaned out to anybody, surprisingly. So don't loan your stuff out if you don't want it broken. Alright, I sent her off to go get my truck, and we're just gonna load this thing up in the back of it once I get to the road. That way we don't have to walk or push this thing for a mile. Well, the dog was supposed to go with Jaden, but she ran back to me. Look at that, what a beautiful sight.
Look at you.
Alright, well, scratch the fishing idea. I'm just gonna get back to working on the J20. Alright, I drug an extension cord over here, and Jaden's job is gonna be to clean all this stuff up in here in the floor, make it look nice. And I'm gonna start with getting rid of stuff that don't need to be here. Alright, I'm gonna get a little podcast going. Got my drink, and I'm gonna have the thermosol going. That way the bugs aren't crazy over here. Probably gonna save this one. I'm probably gonna save that one there. They both look like they might actually go to something. Right now I'm just focusing on getting all this crap out of here. All this stuff. Alright, well, I got most of the like pine cones and all that crap out, so now I'm just gonna go through and I'm gonna scrub all the top side here. Looks like we're almost out. I also picked up some of this engine degreaser, so I'm just gonna get that sprayed in on the engine and probably in here as well. When you're spraying this stuff or water, you just want to make sure you're not spraying it into the intake. Now that we got our application sprayed, I'll let it sit and kind of degrease, and then I'm also going to give it another good scrub. Alright, well, I did some more scrubbing, and now I'm going to get another one of these cans of degreaser going. So I'm going to spray up here too. That's the way it's supposed to look. Alright, well, that's can number 2. Well, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be a lot better than it was. Well, cleaning the inside. I guess there was a rat living in there at some point. I got this side clean enough to where I don't really want to bring my shoes in here. I'm focusing on this chair, and man, it is coming out nicely. Alright, well, I got this side all shined up. It's got some stuff that just won't come out, but a lot better than what it used to look like.
Wait, here's a working view like that. One from the monster.
Yeah. Anyway, now we're gonna work on this here. Look at that. From that. Alright, well, we're finishing up the floor. We got the roof pretty much done. There's some dark spots that can still be cleaned up a little bit. And then we're gonna see if we can't get this thing running. Alright, well, I'm getting a little hungry, so I'm gonna grab some chips. I'm gonna go get my jump pack. I'm gonna see if I can't get that truck on. I picked up a Sensi, and I even have some fabric spray, make it smell nice in here. Alright, well, Nathan just arrived. I got done spraying the truck down with some smellies. I got the little tiny Sensi plugged in over there. And now I'm just cleaning up the windows. Figured I'd wait until he got here. It'd be a little easier. Two of us that know what we're doing, trying to get this thing going.
You and Nathan can fix it.
Yeah, we'll put a new chain on it for you. Alright, I'm gonna repair this busted up, frayed, old ground to the frame, and then Nathan's finding a battery, and we're gonna see what happens when we crank this thing. I have something to crimp. Oh, you got something. Perfect. Yeah, well, Nathan cleaned up the bolt and I clipped the terminal, and now we're gonna get that squeezed down to the wire. Squeeze that nice and tight. Alright, well, this is the battery out of this truck, so it's a good battery, but I'm going to put my jump pack on there just for the extra juice. Alright, I'm just going to be sitting up here like so, put a little bit of gas in here. Alright, ready? Go! Do this until the engine's primed, and then we don't have to do it anymore. Nothing yet. Oh, you got fuel coming out. So close. Alright, well, because the mechanical fuel pump's a little weak, I think tightening that little like B nut down there is gonna do us a charm, make a world of a difference in trying to prime this. So we're gonna do that really quick. Oh, that's pretty tight. Alright, Nathan had a genius idea. Grab a real wrench. I'll turn it a little bit. Oh yeah, it turned a little bit. That's pretty tight. I don't think I want to tighten that anymore. Ready? Oops. What? Okay. Ready? Alright, well, 2 or 3 jugs later and she idles perfectly fine. Alright, well, now that she's running good, we're going to put some fuel in it. Alright, well, she's been running for a couple of minutes. Doesn't sound too bad. Doesn't look too bad either. And we'll finish up our cleaning of That way it's tilted at the right angle, so when we're washing out the back of the truck here, it's actually getting the dirt out of there, not just puddling up in these corners. Now start it back up. Low idle, but she idles nicely. All right, we got the mat put back in. I'm gonna take this out because the wire is cut, and yeah, it's just old as crap. Well, we're gonna see if we have a video from when we first had it running, and we'll get another video, because when we first had it running, man, this thing, it looked like it crawled out of a hole. All right, got that removed. Now I'm just gonna toss it. Wow, those work. All right, we're gonna go for a little drive here. All right, well, we're gonna go and get some feel for the truck. It's pretty cool. This thing actually has power steering and everything. But funny story, when we actually got this truck, it was like 50 below, and we had to have like a parachute, and we had to have a couple of space heaters in the front and the back, and even then after that, the tires barely wanted to move. But we ended up pulling it back to my house and got it going in the spring. I guess we're gonna have a dog follow us to the gas station.
I would take her back, but I feel like we can't turn around.
Yeah, we gotta keep going to the gas station.
Friday Northeast.
Radio works good, speedometer works.
And so what you see is
These work surprisingly. For a 79, this thing's got a lot of working stuff. Does the horn work? The horn works. That's pretty cool. Alright, we threw the dog in the bed because she was getting a little sketchy next to the truck. It's not a bad looking Jeep truck. Is it at? Oh. Alright. There's a dry rotted piece of hose on the end of the filler neck. That rubber hose over there, so Nate's gonna cut it off and slide it over the fuel tank. That way we're not losing all our fuel when we put it in. Alright. Come on, twist it. All right, we got the hose. Nathan got it about 75% of the way, and then he sliced his finger on another hose clamp. So I took over and we got her out. Okay, yeah, just pull it. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a nice, even, straight line right here. That way it slides on smoothly and it has a good flush connection. All right, I upgraded my knife with a new blade. Oh, my finger's stuck. Oh, that's a lot better than it was. Make that work right there. Alright, got this side on, and Nathan got the other side. Now there won't be no fuel leak. Alright, moment of truth. Nice. Yeah, this thing rides nice. Look at that. No shake or nothing. Alright, well, we took her for a little drive, and man, it is just running perfect. Probably could do with a little bit more cleaning on the exterior, but yeah, she's ready to post for sale. '79 J20. Oh, well, we caught a dragonfly all the way back to the house. Good to drive. I'm gonna pick up all this stuff and then get out of here. Look at that. As I was getting ready to move the mini bike, I found the master and the key right there for the chain. Could have put it back together, but I didn't have pliers, but I probably could have made it work. Alright, well that's going to bring this video to an end. If you like this video, please leave a like and a subscribe. We'll be posting more content like this just about every week. If you want to see more content like what we did this video, go ahead and leave a comment. It's something that I do for fun on the side outside of my primary occupation, so I figured I needed to get some stuff done, and I thought it would be a good idea to turn it into a YouTube video. So if you guys like it, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know. So